In the heart of the English countryside, you feel that life hasn't changed for centuries. Here it is quiet and peaceful. People can escape from the cities and their crowds, pollution and noise. This is King's Sutton, a village in Northamptonshire, about 40 miles from the huge industrial city of Birmingham. Many of the houses in the centre of the village are 300 or 400 years old. This square certainly hasn't changed much. For centuries, this was the whole village. At the end of the square stands the church of St. Peter and St. Paul. It was built between 1220 and 1450 and is the oldest building in the village. But life here has changed a lot, and most of the changes have happened during this century. King's Sutton used to be a farming community. At the beginning of this century, about 1,000 people lived in the village, and most of them worked on farms in the area. But nowadays, machinery does the work of horses and men, and only 7% of the population work in agriculture. In the past, the villagers rarely travelled outside the village. They could buy almost everything they needed at the local shops. Morning. This was the village bakery. The baker used to make bread for the whole village, but I don't think any bread has been made here recently.
Grown up.
Elsie Merry was born in the village and has lived here all her life. Her father was the village baker.
Elsie, when did your father open the bakery?
He came to the bakery in 1915. It's always been a bakery from 1802, but he came in 1915,
Yes.
during the First World War.
Was it hard work baking bread?
Very hard work, yes, yes. Up at 5 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock on Saturday morning, always.
So when did the bakery close?
2 years ago, 2 years last Easter.
Many of the other shops have closed too. That's strange because there are now 2,000 people living here. The population has doubled since 1945. And the village is much bigger. New housing estates have been built for the newcomers. But not many of the people who live in these houses work in the village. You see, King's Sutton isn't a self-sufficient community anymore. The villagers work in nearby towns, and they do most of their shopping in large supermarkets. How do they get there? Not by bicycle, but by car and train. Why do you like living in King's Sutton?
It's friendly, it has good facilities, good communication, it's just a good community.
I like the people mostly, and quite a bit goes on, so it's quite interesting, and it's reasonably peaceful.
I like the village life. I've always lived here. I like the community life. The only thing I don't like is that everybody knows your business.
Well, I like it living here better than living anywhere else, really.
If you lived in a town, do you think life would be better?
Well, I don't think life would be better because there'd be a lot more noise and danger and stuff like that.
Well, you could go to the cinema, you could go swimming, and there'd be better sports facilities.
I think there'd be more to do, and probably more people.
We came here because we didn't want to be in a town, we wanted to be in a village.
A new motorway between London and Birmingham was completed in 1992, and it passes close to the village. How does this affect village life?
Well, there's a lot of complaint about the noise and pollution from the motorway, but it does improve communications to those who use cars for travel. And a lot of them work in London, so they can commute quite easily down there now, providing there are no traffic jams.
So is life in King Sutton better than it was in the past, or worse?
Well, it's better in the sense that we have gas, water, electricity and main drainage, so life for most people is more comfortable. The village has doubled in size, but the trouble is that most of the new residents don't work in the village, so they're commuters. So we've lost a lot of the community spirit which used to exist.
It's still quite strong, then?
It's still quite strong, especially amongst the older people.
Life in King Sutton has changed a lot during this century. If more and more people move out of the cities, the village will continue to change. But let's hope that here at the heart of King Sutton, there will always be peace and quiet.